because Kara is still showing stuff on her channel. So I will just, I guess, talk to myself until anybody comes in. So not really much to say, I guess, while I'm talking to myself. So hello, anybody? Because I know, like, she's showing some really cool stuff. Like, I really wish that I had been able to go to the retreat. I did miss everybody at the retreat and missed everybody, getting to see everybody, because I did get to go to the very first one. So, yep, just kind of, oh, hey, I got someone. Hey, Sherry, it may just be me and you here, but hey, at least I got someone to talk to, right? So, oh, and hey, Joe, hey, Miriam, I've missed you guys too. Like I said, we may just be, it may just be us. Y'all can see me and hear me, right? Like, because like I think I can see me and hear me on the video, but I may be wrong, because something weird is saying on my my computer. So can everybody see me, hear me? Just let me know if y'all can see and hear me. That way I will. Okay, I'm good. Yay. Okay. So yeah, y'all, she's got so many cool stuff to show. Like, oh my God, I love going to retreats, but I only get an opportunity to go to one now because, well, you know, they kind of frown and poo-poo on you taking time out of school to go to retreats. So it's a little sad. I don't want to do that. Oh my goodness. Oh, the wrinkles. But I'm going to say hello to everybody. Hello, Sherry and Joe and Marion. Hello, Robin. How are you? Hello, Allison. Everyone will be here in a second. Oh, that's fine. Oh, and Lee gets us set up. As always, I love when Lee and Lenore set us up. Takes out the trash and recycles, puts out a variety of finger foods and snacks, places soft drinks and various waters on the table, puts out some white, dark, and milk chocolate fountains, pretzels, marshmallows, and fruits for everyone. Welcome to Mystria Diamonds. Help yourself. Come on in, grab a snack, and hit that like button on the way to your seat. I always love that they set us up such a wonderful table. Like, it just means a lot to me. Oh, hey, Rhonda. I love you. You're working on your beaded tiger keychain. Oh, my God. Yo, girl, I cannot. You're going to have to show me how that looks, because I still have one of those kits. It's still in the package, because I have not been brave enough. Like, look, I love trying all different types of crafts. I do. But sometimes I get intimidated. And I don't do it. So I would love to see how yours turns out. Hello, Melissa. How are you? Hey, Joe. Hey, Sue. Silver Stitches, I know it has been a while. And, you know, I can't guarantee that I can go the full hour, but I'm so gonna try. Okay, y'all. I'm gonna finish saying hey to everybody, because there's not that many people left, and I'll be able to get to the bottom. And then I'll tell you my little story. So hello, Melissa from Joshua, Texas. Ooh, I've been to Texas many times. I don't think I've ever been to Joshua. I'd love to see what that looks like. Hello, Laura from Ohio. I did go, I forget. There was a retreat in Ohio, so I have been to Ohio twice, and it was really beautiful. You were at the retreat, so you know it was in the swag bag. I know. Oh my God. You know, I was at the very first retreat, very first Lone Star, and I've had to miss the last ones because, like I said, school just kind of they get a little agitated when you take, because I would have, in order for me to go to the retreat, I'd have to take off like a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and possibly Monday. And I only get so many days that they give us. And so pretty much I could not be sick at all. Like I'd only get 2 days that I could possibly, about 2 or 3 days that I would be allowed to be sick. And so that's just too difficult for me because, I'm telling you, these kids come in with all kinds of stuff and you don't know what you're going to catch. So I sometimes try to save up my sick time. Hello, Linda. How are you? Hello, Susan Hatch from Surprise, Arizona. I love that Surprise. I'm telling you, I would love to be able to be like, where are you from? I'm from Surprise. I'm from Surprise. I don't know. People would probably look at me and go, what? But I would love it. I would love it because, saying I'm from Florida, I don't know, especially recently, I've been watching some stuff, crime stuff, and little arrest thingies. They have these little body cam things, and it seems like almost every other story is coming out of Florida, which should not surprise me, living in Florida. That we got things, people do some dumb stuff here. I'm sure they do dumb stuff in other states too, but but they do some stuff here, y'all, that you wouldn't think. Let's see, who else? Hello, Cammie. How are you doing, girl? Oh, there's my bestie. There's my bestie. Where's she at? I know you were trying all the... Girl. I knew you were showing retreat stuff. I was jealous. I said I was jealous. I was there with you in spirit, bestie. I was there with you in spirit, and I get to live vicariously through you. You get to tell me all about the stuff at the retreat. Hello, Matt. How are you doing? I know Kara was having a lot of fun. And I am so happy that she got a chance to go, and y'all could see all the cool stuff that she had, because y'all, if you ever get a chance to go to a retreat and meet my bestie, she is like the best person on the planet, and you would just walk out of there going, oh my God, I just met the most amazing person. And she goes sit there and say, she's probably gonna be like Brandy, but it's true. She is, I keep telling her, because she's my ride or die, y'all, that one of these days we're going to have to be the Golden Girls. Like we're gonna have to be in, I don't know, one of these days. I mean, not now. We're not at Golden Girl age yet, but one day that would be my ultimate dream, would to be in a Golden Girls, like in a house with my bestie, and live in our Golden Girls fantasy. She may be like, but no, we've talked about it before. Hello, Kayleen, how are you? Hey, GMR, how are you doing? Girl, I haven't seen you in a while. I know, Marion, I will get to see you in July, because I am going to get to go to that retreat. So don't come. Oh, if you go through Fort Worth, I'll miss it. Oh, okay. Well, I'll have to watch how I'm going through. Don't blink or you're missing. Hey, that's kind of like one of the little towns here. We have a little town here. It doesn't even have a stoplight. So if you blink, you miss the entire thing. Hey, Mr. Giggles, how are you? I love seeing you, Robert. I hope you're doing good. Hello, Levi. I'm doing good. How are you doing? Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Hello, Allison. Oh, my chat went. Oh, you live in Central Florida? Yeah, see, I live in the Panhandle, so I don't know. I'd be curious. I'm curious to know. I know the people in the Panhandle are crazy. I have to drive with them all the time on the road. Just almost had an accident today because someone decided that they needed 2.2 seconds faster than me. So I'm like driving, and there's a big rig right here, and one of those big chemical big rigs too. And he just had to floor it and boom, just barely. Oh, the words that wanted to come out my mouth. I didn't know, but they wanted to come out my mouth, and I'm just like, for what? To get one car ahead of me. Like, I don't know. I don't understand, but yeah. Hey, Diamonds and Doodads, how are you? You're a Floridian. You can Florida man is a real deal here. And people, I've heard people refer to us as the Australia of America because if you can think of a crazy, weird, dangerous animal, we got it. We got it. Now, granted, I do not have, where I live, I do not have iguanas falling out of trees when it gets cold. However, every morning and afternoon, and I don't really see them at night too much, but it's like watching little Jurassic Park with the little bitty lizards because we get these little lizards. I don't know what kind of lizards they are, but they are all over the place, and I'm perfectly fine with them because they keep the spiders at bay. Because I have come inside to a wolf spider. Y'all, you think I'm kidding. I am not kidding. I wish I could tell you that it was not this big, but I had a cushion on my couch, and that sucker took up the majority of that cushion. And I tried to approach it with a broom and a Tupperware container because I was scared. If I scared it off, it was going to find some place in my house. So I had to manage to, I was trying to be stealthy, knowing that it's going to see me. And I knew it could see me. And it was probably just sitting there going, bring it on. But I did manage to I don't know how, I got some gumption up and I managed to put the Tupperware container over the pillow, and then I was like, oh God. So now I had to get the pillowcase or the pillow and take the whole thing outside, and my kids are like, Mom, you got to release it far off or it's going to get back in the house. But that was just, I have seen gators. We have some water back behind there, but luckily none have come to my porch. But I have a screened-in porch, so. But I have watched some like knock on people's doors or scratch at people's doors. So we got them. And if you're ever out in the woods here in Florida, and you hear what sounds like a baby cry, my suggestion is to run, because that is not a baby crying. That is a panther. That is a Florida panther, and you don't want to be. Yeah, we were out camping, and I heard, and I was like, that sounded like a baby. And then my kids were like, Mom, that's a panther, right? And I'm like, let's get in the camper. Thank goodness we were not in a tent. And I know we got bears here, but have I seen I don't think I've seen a bear. Thank goodness. Hold on, I'm going to knock on one, because as soon as I say I haven't seen one, one's going to pop up. So which golden girl would I be? Well, I'd like to think that I'd be Blanche, but I'm not, but I'm definitely not. I'm not Sophia, and I honestly think I'm more Dorothy. She is a teacher, but I would like to think my humor is a little bit more. But there's times I can pull in a little Rose from time to time, but most of the time I feel like I'm more of a Dorothy. Like I said, I would love to think that I'm a Blanche, but I'm not. Although sometimes I identify with Sophia a little bit. I just wish I had her devil care attitude that she has. That would be nice, right? To be able to go, I'm going to say what I want to say. In fact, I just started rewatching the Golden Girls now that they're on Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever. It's the Disney Plus / Hulu. And so I'm rewatching from episode 1. And oh my God, I have forgotten how much I have missed watching the Golden Girls. But they have kept me in stitches. Hold on. Well, I missed what Bestie said. What did she say? Hold on. Wait. You are not Golden Girl. Okay, girl, you have not gotten that direction either. I know I'm younger than you, but it's not by that much. So we're not, neither one of us are there yet. And if we are, well, that's gonna have to wait. But I don't know that I'm going down to Miami. I ain't gonna go to Miami. Like maybe the Keys, Florida Keys. Carol, what you think? You wanna go to Florida Keys? But we're not going to Miami, I don't think. I've heard some stuff. That's the same in Herto, Wisconsin. Blink and you miss it. Yep. Oh, you're at work, Jennifer. Oh, what kind of stuff do you do? I'm glad I'm home from work, but I'm fixing to do college work. I have a project that I didn't look at what the project is, and then I have a quiz, and then I have, because I have assignments that are due on Mondays, and I have assignments that are due on Tuesdays, and right now I am maintaining, knock on wood, I'm maintaining my A, so I am trying to continue it. That's why a lot of times if I don't go live, it's usually because I'm so backed up with schoolwork, or if they have a project that is just really crazy. But I always, regardless of what's happening in my college career, if you can even call it that, I am, if it's one of the events, especially the Spangler event, which by the way is coming up. That was the other thing, is that when I got home, I had to film my video for the announcement video. Now, the problem is it's not edited. It's a weird kind of unboxing. Just FYI, do not go into it thinking you're going to get a regular unboxing, because it's not. Because I was trying to give the information about the event. Kara and I are both super excited, but I am hoping that I can do a quick edit and upload, and I'll either go live tonight or in the morning. But it is, because we got to get it. It's on its way. November will be here before we know it. So got to make sure. But there is chipmunk mode that is going to be in the video. I wasn't going to do it, and then I changed my mind partway through. Because every time I think of not doing it, if I ever do a video that doesn't have it, I usually get someone going, "Hey, what happened to chipmunk mode? Where did it go?" And then I'm like, I will make sure that I bring that back to everybody. I almost went chipmunk mode. Wait, when did I almost? Well, I don't know. If I get my little fast talking, I sometimes go chipmunk mode. Oh, Marianne, you still think we're still young pups? Girl, you're still young too. When people think I know, right? I've literally had someone who just felt like they had to get right in front of me, like that person, and then they're right in front of me the whole way. They cost them like a few seconds. They get a few seconds that they have managed to beat me, and I'm going, was that really worth almost knocking my rear or my front end off to get in front of me? I don't know. Maybe I'm just, and you know what? You would think, I'm from Birmingham. Now, you want to talk about some people that drive crazy? Although, I love you, bestie, and I love y'all people in Texas. Alabama and Florida drivers do not have anything on Texas drivers. Y'all scare me. Now, maybe if I was still my young self in Alabama and Birmingham, I would not be, when I'm driving in Texas, who do people make my anxiety go crazy? I'm not, the speeds they go at, like that, it doesn't matter whatever is posted on that road, because that is not, if someone is traveling that, it is a rare thing. I don't know how Kara does it, but she's got it down to a science over there, being able to do it. Your doctors think 45 still young. Well, look, that's young to me now. I can actually say that now, but yes, bones creak. Although, to be fair, some of my students' bones, and they're middle schoolers, I heard one of them creak today, and I was like, you're not allowed to have, one said they got rheumatoid arthritis. You're not allowed to have that. Like, what are you doing to have that? Like, I know why my knee goes out. Mine goes out the other day because of how many times it got kicked out of joint in karate. But I'm going, you're in 7th and 8th grade. What are you doing to your body to get that? You have a big gator in your subdivision? Yep, Allison, sounds about right. I have not heard one, but I do know that if I go out and it sounds like a very deep bullfrog, chances are it's not a bullfrog. Because I remember when I first got here, I was going to go down to the lake, and Wayne was like, "Where are you going?" I said, "Well, I hear some bullfrogs. I'm going to go down there." He goes, "No, you're not. That's where Elvis lives, and that's what Elvis is saying." And I'm like, "What?" And I thought he was pulling my leg. We were in a stilt house, staying with his dad. And I thought, he's got to be kidding me, right? He's got to be kidding me. There's not a gator. I mean, I was, like I said, I was brand new to Florida. Um, and he's like, oh yeah, we have a gator, Elvis. He's absolutely massive. And I'm like, uh-huh, okay. And then he calls me out on the porch and he goes, how about you look down? Y'all, I looked down and there was Elvis at the foot of the stairs. And my first question was, can alligators climb stairs? Um, I knew in the pause that he gave me that the answer was yes. And he's like, well, he's not going to climb the stairs. And I said, that's not what I asked you. I asked you, can alligators climb stairs? And he just said, if we see him come up, we're just going to go in inside. And I'm like, okay. So now, and he's taken me out to, when we first got married and I was pregnant with my first one, he decided to take me canoeing on the river or lake or whatever. It's a river. And as we're canoeing, now canoes are not big. They're not big, and there's not high sides. And as we're canoeing and all these mangrove trees and everything, and he goes, you see that little slick area there? I'm like, yeah. He says, that's a gator slide. I'm like, and then he's like, just watch out if there's bubbles over there. And there was something like knocked our canoe. And I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm all good. I'm good. We can just go ahead and go on. And he's like, they're more scared of you. I'm like, well, no, at this point, I'm more scared of them than they are of me. So I am a walking smorgasbord here. So let's just go ahead and go. So to this day, I kind of don't like going out in a canoe. And then, of course, my youngest, Danny, I'm so glad. I had a migraine. And so Wayne took the kids. Danny was probably 4 or 5 years old. And he took them out to the pond to swim. And Danny was out there swimming. Wayne was on the bank. Wayne looks behind Danny and he sees a gator come in to the water behind Danny. And he's trying not to freak Danny or anybody else out. So he's just like, son, come on, come to me. Go ahead. You need to come on in. And Danny's like, why? And he's like, just come on to me, son. And as Danny is swimming, the gator y'all, if I would have been there, my heart would have been in my throat. I would have been already in that water with a shoe or something. And I would have been making gator shoes coming after my child. Coming after me is one thing, coming after my child. He did manage to grab Danny, and as he grabbed him, literally the gator snapped right at Danny's foot. Y'all, I'm just telling you, I'm just very glad I was not there that day, because I would have had a heart attack like nobody's business. Now you don't walk back there. I wouldn't walk back there either. When you had your shoulder surgery, you asked what caused the tears. He said, he told you were falling apart. I'd be like, sir, look, the warranty may be a little, or it may be a little more used, but I am not falling apart. Thank you very much. Let's see. Hold on. I'm missing stuff. I'm trying to go back. Let's see. Bestie, we'll be in Key West for sure. Okay, so we're not going to go to Miami. We're gonna Golden Girls in Key West. We just got to decide which we want, Key West or Key Largo. We want Key West. We're gonna do Key West. We're gonna go out there. You're from Idaho. Oh, I love potatoes. Potatoes are like my favorite. Hey Sherry, how are you doing? So I know that schoolwork comes first, but you know what? I will be fine. I will be fine and dandy, and I will get my assignments done. I promise you. They drive crazy in Miami too. Well, that shouldn't surprise me. They drive crazy at all points of Florida. Let's see. When you're on the phone, they ask if your mom is that would probably bother me too. Be like, I am a grown adult. Thank you very much. Luckily, I have a little bit lower voice, so um, I've not really had that too much. But I do have a friend that has one of those really uh, younger sounding voices, and they have had that happen to them too. Oh, Golden Girls is a really good show. Yes, they can climb over fences. They can climb over all kinds of things. That is for sure. It does sound scary. Um, so why do people live here? Well, you know what? Okay, so we do have crazy animals and we have crazy people, but we also have the most beautiful. I'm sorry, I will hands down. I will tell you. I think we have the most beautiful beaches in the world because we have the white sand beaches. There's not this ugly brown or black or gray sand. Like we have these beautiful white sand beaches, and they are very beautiful. We have gorgeous sunsets. The weather here, I mean, for us, when it gets, in the 50s, 40s, and 50s, we're cold. Okay. Because it's very rare for Florida to get below like into the 30s. Usually, like last year was a freak. But I don't know, the cold weather was visiting us for some reason. It decided to take a vacation and stay here in Florida and give us snow for a night. But that was all we got. We got snow for one night. So the kids got out for a snow day, one day. Well, technically we got 2 days because there were some places that had some issues with the water and stuff. But pretty much you can expect rain, lots of sun, lots of sun. And we have beautiful weather most of the time. Although it is going to rain, just expect. I came here thinking that it was Florida, sunshine state. So I did not expect there to be the amount of rain that there is. But there is rain, especially during the summer, every day. Every day it's going to rain at some point. Now it might not last long, but it will rain. It's one of those just, you kind of prepare for all the weathers because it's a possibility that you may see all 4 seasons in one day. Just, especially during the winter, like in the morning, it'll be really freezing and then we'll get crisp and cool, where it'll warm up a little bit. Then it'll start getting hot and humid and crazy, and then it'll go back to cold. So, people don't know what's happening in Florida here. I don't think Florida's weather knows what's happening here in Florida. Oh, you get carded when you walk in? Hey, that must be nice. I haven't gotten carded in a long time. That would make me feel amazing. Yeah, not all of Florida is, but like I said, we don't have I'm assuming the iguanas are farther down south than where I am. We just have the little lizards that make their little lizard run every day. That's right, Sherry. If you're getting carded, that means you look good for your age, girl. Let's see. Hey, Kim, how are you doing? Oh, Silver Stitches, so even though I am a teacher, I teach, for those that don't know, I teach math. I teach algebra and geometry and pre-algebra in middle school. I used to teach science a couple of years ago, but now I'm back to teaching middle school math. But I am going to school for crime scene investigation. Even though I know that I'm not going to be able to be an actual crime scene investigator because, well, let's just be honest and frank. I don't have the physique or the stamina because you have to pass the physical stuff, and well, this chickadee wouldn't be able to pass those physical things. But there's a possibility that I could work in a lab if I choose to leave teaching. I started getting it because I was trying. Well, actually, no. Yes, I was trying to get a high school program where they could get a certification for law enforcement. through it, and so I was trying to get a degree for that, but that wasn't the main reason. Was because that was the career that I wanted to have. Was I wanted to be in something with forensics. And then I had my family and decided that teaching was a better fit for raising a family. Well, now that my kids are grown and out of the house, I know I'm older, but they always say you're not too old to learn anything. And I am certainly not the oldest that is going through the program. There's others that are even older than me. So will I actually do anything with my degree? I don't know. I would actually love to work either. I always thought I wanted to work in the morgue as an autopsy tech. But I may end up working like DNA or trace analysis. That would be really, really like, that would just, so needless to say, I watch a lot of crime, true crime all the time. So, I don't get me wrong. I like CSI and NCIS and stuff like that, but that's not true real life. But I've gotten to do some pretty cool stuff with my forensics class. So I do love that. Um, yeah, you have beautiful white sand beaches without gators and the and wait, you got the white. Well, Hawaii, Cami, is the one place I haven't gotten to go. Well, there's a lot of places I haven't go. I don't know why I keep saying one place. That's one of the places that is on my bucket list. I will make it to Hawaii somehow, some way before I die, I hope. Because I really, really, really do want to see Hawaii. I might not ever want to leave if I go, but I still I want to go. Yeah, Mother Nature going through menopause. That's it here in Florida. Oh yes, Big Bang Theory. I love Big Bang Theory and Sheldon. Yep, Bernadette. She does sound like a kid, but I watched every episode of Big Bang Theory. I watched all of Young Sheldon, just because I love that show. They did a really, really good job with it. And, believe it or not, there were times that when I was teaching chemistry and physical science in high school, I would show them like little things like where Sheldon is teaching Penny some physics. And they're like, that's from a TV show. I'm like, yes, however, they are actually correct in this. So, yeah, they are hilarious. I know I'd love to see Hawaii. Yes, Lee. But you know what? Great white sharks, we can get them here in Florida too. But y'all know sharks are one of my favorite, like my favorite creature is dragons. Anybody who knows me knows that I love my dragons. But my real animal love, like as far as ones that are a real true animal, are sharks, and great whites are my favorite. I even have a stuffed shark that I like to have, that I keep. Not he's a stuffed animal. He's not a stuffed shark. He's a plushie. Please understand. He's a plushie. He's not a. I did not take a shark and stuff it. Okay, he is a plushie shark. Because I do love sharks. And so I have gotten to swim, and I have not swum with I don't know, I may have swum with great white sharks and not realized it, because I found out when I was younger, my stepdad took me up in his airplane. He had one of those little 4-seater Cessna little airplanes, right? And so he took us right over the beach in Gulf Shores, where like right behind the condo where we swim. And he says, I want you to look down for a second. And he looks down. I look down and I see where people are swimming, and you see sharks all around them. But the sharks aren't messing with anybody. So a lot of people don't realize when you go out in the ocean, you probably have a lot of sharks all around you, and you just don't even realize it, Oh yeah, NCIS is awesome. It kind of, I love Abby. I'd like to say that I'd like to be Abby. Granted, she does, that's the one thing that people don't realize, is that all the stuff that Abby does, one tech doesn't do. In fact, a tech doesn't run any of the labs that you see. They they collect them, and there are some labs that are run there at wherever the place is, but then most of them do get sent off to their own special branches. But I still like to say that I'm kind of like Abby, just with blonde hair. I love her style too. Uh, I would, Cammy, if I ever make it to Hawaii, I will definitely look you up and be like, hey, girl, show me everywhere. Um, I have read some, I think I've read some of Patricia Cornwell's books. Oh, Bones. Yeah, I love Bones for more than just the fact that it's Bones. Um, I had a crush on David Boreanaz, still kind of do. Back from when he was on Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And so when he was on Bones, but I do like Bones because they do have the forensics in it. I did get an opportunity when I was doing one of my first labs, because all of my stuff is online. The only thing that I had to do in addition to the online was I had some practical labs that we had to do during the summer. Like for a whole week, we had one type of lab, and then a whole nother week we had a different type. And one of the actual first lab was the death investigation lab. So they had us do skeletal inventories. So like the first one was fake skeleton, where they put us on two different teams, and we were competing to see who could put their skeleton correctly together. There's a lot more bones than what you think that there are. And so we had to, and I mean, and they had like, we're talking, they had all of the bones separated and not together, and we had to put them in the right place. So that was the first thing that we had to do. Then we went to the morgue. They took us into one of the storage rooms that at present was not holding any bodies, just some boxes and stuff. And they brought in two actual skeletons. They were skeletons of people that had not been claimed by family members. And so they wouldn't tell us anything about it, because we had to not only do a skeletal inventory, put the skeletons laid out together, but we had to determine possible age, possible sex based off of the bones that we had. And my team got it correct, but I did find out that you'd be very careful picking up the bones. I thought I was careful picking up the skull, and then when the teeth came out, so I obviously was not as careful, and I felt really, 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 really bad. I'm like, I swear I was very gentle. It just happened. And then the final thing that we got to do is we spent 2 days where they took us out to a field that they had gone through and taken fake bones and skeletons, whatever, and they had created burial sites, and they had been covered up, grown over, all that kind of stuff, because we had to go through and use the skills that we had been taught. They would not tell us where they were. We had to use the skills that we were taught to determine where we thought that a potential dig site or grave site was. We had to do certain tests and checking and parameters, and we had to do all this whole stuff. And then we had to actually do the dig as if we were recovering buried remains, and do everything like it said, bag what evidence that we found. You had to be, I did not realize exactly how painstaking, like when they say you have to brush it, like you can't just pick it up. No. And you got to take pictures all over the place. We did that. And then we also did learn how to do a line search. And then we did some entomology with pigs that had been buried, or not buried, but had been left there like since March, and it was June, or no, May. They put them there in May. And so when we were there in June, I was there as one of the last weeks of the program. So we had to be able to collect insect samples for the entomology part. But I'm telling you, it was for someone like me, it was the coolest experience. And I laughed because I sent it to Kara because I was so excited. We actually had to wear a uniform with the CSI hat. We had a CSI shirt that says CSI. We had to wear they call them BDUs? I don't know. There's some sort of pants that have all these pockets. I don't know if they're called BDUs. I don't know if that's only military. Um, they're not cargo pants though. They were very specific that they couldn't be cargo pants. They had to be something. If someone in the chat knows if are BDU pants the same thing as the one with lots of pockets and give that like law enforcement and EMTs and people like that wear, because I don't remember if that's what they're called. But we also had our boots, the like steel-toed combat boots, and so I don't know. I put it on and I felt like I looked like CSI, so I was like all excited so it was crazy. Okay, and I got way behind in chat, so let me see. Silent Witness. I don't think I've ever. I wonder where I can watch that. Silent Witness, a British show. Because can you watch that here in America, or do you have to have a streaming? What streaming service might that be on? Because I have watched a few British shows, like Absolutely Fabulous, which is now I guess called ASFAB now, and something called. Wait, what is it called? Are You Being Served? I think that was the name of it. A long time ago, I used to watch that. If I ever go to Hawaii, I'm not going to want to leave. I want to say to myself, check my checking account, see what I have to live here. I know, I'm telling you, if I go there, I might be like, ooh. Although I don't know, because I do want to go see the Keys, because I want to see the Florida Keys and see if they're awesome. Find a real estate lady. There we go. Homicide Hunter. I think I have seen that one. I gotta watch that. Yeah, the labs were extremely fun. Um, oh, Cammy, that's kind of expensive. I don't know that I could find a job that would allow me to live there. Oh, that's a little expensive. BDU. Okay, so that is what they're called. Thank you, Lee. I didn't know if that was just a military thing but I have those pants. Don't know if I'll ever need them because I had to have them for all 4 labs that we did. I did 2 during one summer, and I finished up this past summer with the last 2 labs. They use real cases that are old, just change the victim name, and sometimes those cold cases would get solved. I know. So that's the one thing I love. So like, as much as I love, don't get me wrong, as much as I love like CSI and NCIS, those are done more for production value. So like things that don't really happen in the real world, but it looks flashy and it looks good, for TV. But the ones like Forensic Files, when I taught forensic science, my kids, I used to do Forensic Files Friday, and we would watch Forensic Files since, they actually used, those were real cases, real forensics that was being used, and they would talk about it. So, but there's another show, I don't know if it's called Cold Cases, but there's this woman, or actually there's more than one woman, and they'll get these cold cases and they'll go back and they'll revisit, and they'll sometimes they'll solve some of the cold cases, and sometimes they put out information. I do know one of the classes that I can take, that I am hoping I can get put on my docket soon, there is a class on cold case, and then you have to do this lab where you actually will be, in your class, you'll actually be investigating and helping investigating some cold cases. So I think that would be like really fun. I don't know. I know I'm a weird person, but I know I'm not the only one out there. Otherwise, the field would not be so popular with criminology and forensics if other people didn't find it interesting. So I don't think I'm a complete weirdo. I just I've always been interested in forensics, and that's why I went into teaching for my family. And that's not to say that I necessarily will change my career path, but I'm really drawn to forensics, and I would like to think that I could do something in it. So yeah. BBC America. Yeah, I just didn't know if they had their own little thing. It started in the 90s. Yep. Sometimes they do take some of the cases and they rip them from the headlines. But I also watch my bestie Kara. She got me into some of these true crime YouTubers that will talk about current. I mean, sometimes they'll go back and talk about older cases, but a lot of times they'll talk about current cases of like what's happening now. Like they talked about the Karen Reed trial, and like they gave you the whole. It wasn't just like you didn't watch the trial. And in fact, on one of the YouTubers that I follow, Annie Elise, I kind of like how she did it because I I do find trials interesting, but not enough to sit and watch all that trial footage. I, it's just it. I don't know. That's not something that because that's more on the legal side of it, I guess. And so I like how she did it. She told you the whole story of like what led up to the trial, like what all had happened, what was alleged, what was this, what was that, and then she had people in the courtroom, and what they would do is at the end of the week is they would come and they would basically give a synopsis of what had happened, your major key points that had happened during the week. So you still got updates about what was happening with the trial without having to sit through all of the trial footage. So, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I've watched a little bit of some of the trial. Like I watched some of Lori Vallow's trial. Mm, mm, mm. I don't even know what to say about that woman. Um, Delulu is about the only word I can use to describe. But so that's one of the reasons why I don't know. Like, that's not to say that I didn't watch court shows. Like, okay, look, I was a People's Court fan and Judge Judy fan. But I think that has to do more with the sassiness of the judge and how some of these people come in there claiming all kinds of weird, crazy stuff, and they're like, they don't take no sass, they don't take no guff. Now I know it's probably scripted, maybe, but as far as real court cases, I'm just not one to sit through everything. Yeah, I like how they Karen, right, Lauren, woo, woo, the fact that she thought she was. I mean, I understand people that think that they're smart enough to represent themselves when they're not a lawyer. I get it. I do. Um, but listening to her sometimes, I could not watch the whole thing of that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it to save my life. But if I'm watching something, I want to know more of okay, let's get to the meat and potatoes. What happened? Um, what did the court say without watching, what is it, like days and days, weeks, sometimes weeks of trial? Just give me the abridged version of that part. Now, you could sit there and talk to me about how the forensics that laid into it. Now, I would sit through and watch that part of it. I'd want to know how the forensics did it, but that's why I like forensic files and things like that, because they really take you into the forensics. Um, yeah, I'm not in. I'm telling you, the trials just can get fictional crime, true crime. I will say, true crime can be scary. I have found myself. I have found myself like. Unfortunately, I've watched so much true crime. True crime. Like, for instance, I had this one car beside me. Y'all, tell me I'm not crazy. I may be crazy. This one car beside me, and they kept like getting close to my car, and then they back off, and they get close, and like part of my brain, I'm sorry, my brain went to, are they trying to get close enough to shoot me? And I'm pretty sure that that's not what they were trying to do, but it just seemed weird because they'd rev up beside me, and like they were trying to get even with me, and then they'd back off, and then they'd rev up, and then there was one that got behind me, and they kept following me. I got off the interstate, back on the interstate, off the interstate, back on the interstate, and they followed me, and then they did that thing, and so yeah, I got a little paranoid, and maybe it's because I watched too much true crime, and so I just thought that someone was trying to someone was trying to do something nefarious. I also find myself, okay, y'all, don't laugh at me. I also find myself sometimes when I'm riding down the road, I'll glance at the side, and if I see like a white sheet or something, I kind of slow down a little bit just to make sure there's not like a body that's been put on the side of the road. Okay, yeah, I know that seems a little weird, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one. I was going down the interstate, and I found this. There was a car, but before you got to the car, it looked like the person had walked, but there was a man, and he was face down on the ground. Now I am not okay. So I did not stop. Please understand, I am not an EMT. I am not a first responder, and I've watched enough things to know that it would not. If something had happened to that person, I immediately got on 911. And I did pull over up the road to call 911, and they're like, "Are you referring to the man that's laying on the side of the interstate?" I said, "Yes," and they said, "We've already received multiple calls. Someone is on their way there." I said, "So should I stick around?" They said, "No, ma'am. You need to go about your business so you don't disturb any evidence in case there's evidence." So I said, "Okay." So I did that, right? I did that. But you just have to be, I don't know, you just have to be careful. Hello, Dragon Wing. How you doing, girl? Oh, I haven't seen you in a while. I'm so glad you're here. Y'all know she was my secret siren, and one of the best secret sirens I've ever had. I loved it. The hatred, yeah, I mean, true crime is true, and it is. There are some people out there that are crazy pants crazy. As Annie Elise likes to say, y'all just get a divorce. Like, seriously, if you are not vibing with the person, just get it. Just there ain't no need to kill them. There's no, like, why? Just why? All your problems could, just why? So yeah. Oh, she was a federal judge, pleaded the fifth, told him, "That's beautiful, but not going to help you in here." Oh, wow. Pamela, they wanted to race me. I don't know if they wanted to race me, but they scared me is what they did. They scared me. Work's been keeping you busy. Well, I'm glad you were able to pop in. Oh, my God. People on their cell phones. That does drive me nuts. Well, I ended up going pretty much almost the whole time. And I don't know. If y'all didn't like that we were talking about true crime, I'm sorry. That is one of my passions. In fact, that's why the two classes that I'm taking right now, one is more of a computer course, I guess you can call it. They call it computer operations for criminal justice. I've already taken some, not all, of the computer stuff that we have to take, because I didn't realize how much computer stuff that they have. And I mean, I know that there's like one of the labs that we had this summer was on, like, if you, to give you a taste, sorry, my throat, to give you a taste of what it would be like if you were interested in being a computer analyst, forensic analyst for computers, what kind of stuff that you would have to do. Let me just tell you, if they didn't have them directions written down of step 1, do this, step 2, do this, I would not have been able to figure it out. So I would think, like, I love analysis and I love doing analysis, but computer analysis, as far as give me data that I can sort through. I'll do that till the cows come home. I'm really good at data analysis. But getting into all the different programs and learning how to do that, that was a lot. But this one is, so far, knock on wood, it's been most of it stuff that I kind of know a little bit about, and I've been learning some. The other one, though, that one's more on like procedures for officers and what happens when you go into court, because inevitably, whether you're a CSI or you work in a crime lab or you work in the morgue or, any of that medical examiner's office, at some point, you are probably going to have to go to court and present your findings. And so you have to learn you do have to learn the court procedures, and you have to learn the reports and all that kind of stuff, because they love their reports. So that stuff is what I'm learning right now. So it may not be as, riveting as like when I did the death investigation or when I did trace analysis. But there's still some interesting things that I need to know anyway. So yeah. One day you were out running a few errands before you started and you had to call the emergency line. Oh no, a diabetic seizure. Ooh, that would be scary. Because I don't know that I would know that it was a diabetic seizure versus a regular seizure. He was unresponsive. Ooh, see, that would scare me. I mean, as far as because I would want to make sure that nothing happened to them. And that's why if I was going to work with people, I'd prefer to work with people that are already dead, because then I can't kill them by accident. They're already dead and deceased. But that's why I could never go into being a nurse or something like that, because I would be terrified. I'd be terrified. Oh, that is sad that you were the only one that called. Oh my God. But so I'm going to go ahead and get out of here just a little bit early, not much, but thank you guys for coming. I'm sorry, like I said, that I've been MIA, just trying to get everything together, but I wanted to come on tonight so that I could still hang out with you guys and show you I'm still here. I haven't disappeared. I promise. I haven't gone the way of the dodo. But I just wanted to be able to hang out with you guys for a little bit, and that'll give me the boost that I need to get on in here and do my homework assignments. Oh no. Oh, he passed away in the ambulance. Oh, Sherry, that is so sad. Oh my gosh. Well, sorry for his family. Well, thank you so much, Melissa. I'm happy to be able to hang out with you guys. Yeah, that's true, Matt. It is busy time for all of us, but I'm just so glad that you guys took time out of your schedule to come and hang out with me, because it does make me feel good when you guys come on here to hang out with me the few times that I can manage to get on. I'm going to keep trying to be here as much as I can. For sure, just FYI, be looking out for both Kara and Mai's announcement video for Season of Spangler for November. For sure on this channel, the month of November, you will see myself, Kara, and Randall Spangler. I don't know what he's going to be working on, but it'll be interesting to see what he's going to be working on. So thank you guys so much for coming and hanging out with me and keeping me company, and I really appreciate it. So I'm going to leave it like I always do. Reach for the stars. Grab hold on, and never let go. Until the next time. Bye, guys.